Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, me, Faris Hazim, Nakib Izul and Nik Norafika are going to present about traditional Kampung Laut Old Mosque.
The history of Kampung Laut Mosque. Kampung Laut Mosque is the oldest surviving mosque in Malaysia. It was built in 15th century by a group of Champa government transporter. The style of Kampung Laut Mosque is typical of local traditional architecture, and it was climate appropriate, similar to the local house in the area. Kampung Laut Mosque had a basic architecture style and structure, which has 4 pillars for foundation and palm fronds for the roof. Components of the mosque. There are 6 components, which are roof, beam and column, foundation, ornament, floor and wall. The structures material for Kampung Laut Mosque is cengal timber hardwood, and the roof there are used Singora clay roof tiles. Kampung Laut Mosque didn't use any nails because they are using mortise and tenon method. The first component is the roof. The roof was constructed in 3 tiers. Each of the roof tiers is separated by a gap to allow air circulation. The roof was supported at the 4 corners by big wooden pillars, 16 interior pillars and 24 veranda pillars. The overhang roof is to protect the building from the rainwater and sunrays from the admittance through the openings. Between the top and the middle of the roof tiers, there are clerestory louvers which function to allow airflow of stack effect and penetration of indirect natural light. There are using Singora roof tiles, which is commonly used on the traditional building in the east coast of Malaysia.
Foundation. Kampung Laut Old Mosque has a building foundation erected using on-stilts construction technique. On-stilts construction means the erection of a building floor system elevated at several feet above the ground earth surface. Muhammad Akib stated that the actual height of the elevated ground floor is about 2.3 meters from the ground when this building was at its original site in Kampung Laut. Today at Nilampuri, the ground floor of Kampung Laut Old Mosque has a level about 1 meter from the ground. On-stage construction begins with digging holes at a certain depth for location of the column system. A series of stones or hardwood timber at the pass before stones are introduced are placed at these holes to function as the column bases. Timber columns are then erected on these bases and after that with beams. The leveling process of the ground floor at level 0 degree is made during the erection of lower beams that support the floor area. Moving on to the floor, the Kampung Laut Old Mosque was constructed using steel floor construction. The material of the floor is cengal, hardwood, and it is heavy and durable hardwood. At the main prayer hall, the height of the floor is 910 mm from the ground, while at the veranda, the height of the floor is 760 mm from the ground. The height was made shorter during the Kampung Laut Old Mosque relocation. According to Akib, the original height of the on-state post is much higher, which is 2.3 meter. For the construction of floor elements, there are no insulation materials used similar to the other building envelope element of this Kampung Laut Old Mosque. The surface area for the floor at the main prayer hall is the largest among the other space, which is approximately 222.4 meter square. The floor surface area at the Balai Linta and veranda is 121.5 meter square. The least floor surface area is at the Wakaf Orang Kaya, which is only 49.7 meter square. The floor thickness at the Wakaf Orang Kaya, Balai Linta and veranda is the same, which is 50.8 mm. According to Wadik, the hardwood is with higher density is higher in thermal conductivity and lower the insulation value. Therefore, cengal hardwood is higher in thermal conductivity and lower insulation value than the merbau hardwood.
Next, column and beams. There are 44 columns to support the roof and the building structure, primarily supported by 4 big inner columns which function as the core structure to support the roof and building structures. These timbers columns are called tiang seri by a local people. Column and beams also made from cengal hardwood.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Moving on into the section of the walls. The external wall at the Kampung Laut Masjid is made from opaque janda berhias wall panel, and the material of the wall elements is made from merbau or Instia palambinica, which is highly durable hardwood with the density of 830 kilogram per cubic meter. And there is no insulation material installed to the external wall construction, where this means that the surface area of the wall at the prayer main hall is the largest, which is approximately 126.4 meter square, followed by the external walls of the Wakaf Orang Kaya, which stands at 53.6 square meter. The least external wall area is the Bala Lintang and veranda, which is at 20.4 meter squared, because this area has hardwood railings or pagamusang, which is decorated railings at the perimeter. And the main prayer hall, the height of the wall is 1.9 meters for the lowest and 2.8 meters at the highest wall. Moving on into the Wakaf Orang Kaya, the lowest wall is 2.2 meters and the highest wall is 2.82 meters. The thickness of the wall at the main prayer hall and Wakaf Orang Kaya is 25 millimeters with 40 millimeter structure, while the hardwood railing is 15 millimeter in thickness. Bearing to mention that there are two types of openings at the Kampung Laut Old Mosque. Both of the openings are different in terms of their design. The openings at the main prayer hall is full height double swing windows, while the Wakaf Orang Kaya are sliding windows with hardwood grille and can be only operable from the inside. Next, we pursue on the ornaments. For the ornaments in the masjid, wood carving is basically the expression of Malay craftsmen while recognizing the amorphous beauty of God's creation and manifest them into the amorphous forms. The form is carved components of the mosque, which depicts the motif of flora, calligraphy, geography, and cosmos, which means the design emphasizes on the floral motif because this dominates the carving on the structural, elemental, and decorative components, denoting the influence of Islamic faith of the Malay craftsmen towards their work of art. Next, the carving is a part of the mosque architecture that without it, the building may be considered as incomplete to be categorized as vernacular architecture of the region. Noting that the mimbar of Masjid Kampung Laut at Nilam, Puri, Kelantan, Malaysia, this is built in the 1400s with traditional tropical architecture style using wood as the major materials.
Lastly, to end this presentation, we would like to say thank you for watching.